Hey Geminis, and welcome to June Energies. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing general tarot reading for your month ahead. And happy birthday to those of you who are aging up during this time. It is Gemini time now, and I can feel it changing. It's actually, I think, a really nice energy to come in right now when we have all this heavy energy. Jupiter in Scorpio, Saturn and Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, Jupiter retrograde as well. Mars going retrograde soon in Capricorn too as I'm filming this. And here we are in Gemini season, getting all cerebral with everything and getting all mercurial about what's going on. I feel like, it's not the easiest for you all this month. There are definitely some other signs that have a bit smoother of a progression, but I think that a lot of things really get like snapped into place here, and a lot of calibration happens for Gemini. Like, you're going to really be able to identify in June where you need to go and what you need to be, why you're here. I think one of the most difficult things for Gemini right now is not really having understood why, or not really having understood why the progression happened the way it did. Like, if you were meant to be with somebody, why it had to end. There's a lot of frustration, I feel, in Gemini energy, and a lot of, you have that incredible formulaic brain. Like, the Gemini mind is one of the sharpest minds of the zodiac, and it's sort of on overdrive right now, I feel. It's like overclocking, over-functioning Gemini mind. You guys have Nine of Swords in your reading, which has come up quite frequently for you all over the last few months, and also Nine of Wands, the Moon, Judgment, Strength, Justice, the Emperor. All of your cards this month are really big and really flashy. I feel this to be a flashy month for you. A lot of you are making a lot of achievements, a lot of purpose-filled aspirations are coming in, and you're questioning them. Like, as they come in, they start to be questioned and analyzed in a light that you've never really seen them before. So I think that this is encouraged. I don't think it's avoidable by any Geminis, really, but it's going to be really important, Gemini, for you to know your power and to know your control over your path, not other people's path, but your own path. I do feel that some Geminis feel victims to their path, or even for those of you who've been like super successful, made super huge amounts of money this year, or, gotten all the promotions, there's still like a victim to my path type of thing coming forward for Gemini. Some of you have also already confronted this, like when Saturn was opposite you over 2017. And for those of you who have come out of that, I really hope you'll be able to comment below and give some like lifting up to other Gemini people. I don't have a lot of Gemini in my chart, so I really appreciate it when the Geminis come in and, break it down and help to understand some of these bigger messages. So please comment if you're a Gemini who's kind of come out of that mode, how you did it, what have you learned, and give some support to the Geminis who are going through what you went through last year, because it is an echo of that. And I think even the Geminis who've overcome that trauma or that breakup or that shift, you're going to have an echo of it. You're going to have a reminder, a reflection. Jupiter's retrograde, so for all 12 signs, it being retrograde in Scorpio, it does re-examine the past. It does bring things like that up. I don't feel for Gemini it's necessarily somebody from your past coming in, or necessarily the past coming to you. It's sort of you going to the past, and that distinction is important here. What it means to have the past activate you versus you activate the past. And I feel that Gemini, through seeing that distinction, heals more karma, and heals more of these wounds, which are pretty obvious here, and them being so obvious is such a blessing. You have the Moon reversed in your reading and Judgment upright, so it's like you're now seeing the illusion. You're now seeing very obviously people's dishonesty or illusions, and you're ready to change that. You're ready to make transformations there. And it takes a lot of energy. You have Strength reversed in your reading as well, so you're spending a lot of energy, money, something is being spent this month, so it's supported because you're strong enough to still have the Strength archetype pop up, but it's also really, and I don't have to tell a Gemini this, but it's helpful to think about where your energy is going. It's helpful to make a format for that. And once you've made that format, here's the key idea for Gemini, is that you can then separate. Like, you have the format, you have the appointment, you have the plan set into place. Now get your mind off of it and let the plan unfold. It's an unfolding month, like an unfolding plan month for Gemini. So things that you've had stacking up for a long time start to unfold here and play out. Be able to disconnect from it. That's the only tender spot, is that Nine of Swords has a tendency to overanalyze everything, even if you know what's going to happen. So know what's happening, Gemini, and disconnect. Enjoy yourself. perhaps some wonderful birthday gifts coming in for some of you, or birthday celebrations. Enjoy that, socialize, get to yourself if that's what you want more. But I do feel that all of Geminis are a bit social this month, and it's really healing for you. I'm going to go ahead and get into the week to week, and we will see what's coming forward. Week number 1 in June, Gemini's justice reversed, rooted down by 9 of Swords. Anything that's been unfair in your life, and not just in your life, but over this last 2-year period, it's going to come up in a new light, and you're going to be able to see it from a new light, new perspectives, new ideas, even new truths. So someone may have lied to you and they come clean to you now. Somebody may have been taking advantage of you, and you learn of this, and you're like, what do I do? Do I act like I know, or do I test the situation and play dumb and see if it happens again? Some of you may have been cheated on. I don't like to say that very often in my videos, but if you'll know it if it's happened. It's not like a secret at this point in time, because Gemini's seen through the secrets, but you're in the mode of understanding how to deal with that, how to cope with that, and you're very successful with that. You know what's fair, so try to not give something unfair to somebody who's given you something unfair. Gemini is a karmic, I mean, all the signs are karmic, of course, but you are ruled by Mercury, so you can sometimes be put in the place of delivering karma to people, even if they've not done something to you. Like, you're like the envelope. Karma's envelope is what I'm going to start calling Gemini. I'm going to write that down, karma's envelope. That's so funny. So yeah, you might be called to be karma's envelope this month, Gemini, so don't force that. Don't make that a necessity. It can sometimes be thrilling, and it can also be very problematic as well, but I feel that you may be called or asked by somebody else to deliver some type of really big, difficult, or wonderful news to somebody. So stepping into that role of Mercury is healing for you, and always possible during this time of the year. If it makes you worry about it, though, it's very fine to just back out of that. Week number 2, Queen of Pentacles rooted down by 9 of Wands reversed. Something about your lifestyle, or something about what was once authentic to you, has become very tiresome. 9 of Wands reversed says that everything that's taking too much energy, consuming too much of you in your life, has become obvious, and you can see it now. You may still have to be contributing to it, but you can see it. And that's the overall message of this entire reading, is your vision, really. You have vision of all the problem areas, but specifically in the second week, it deals with how you're treating yourself, how you're nurturing yourself, how you are being that Queen of Pentacles person. For those of you with Earth energy, I feel that this week will be easier. You're more accustomed to this, but you really have to pull back and make it simpler. Make things simpler in the second week. I know last month for you guys was all about playing things safe and, pulling back a little bit. And this month is about a continuance of that while making it easier. So was it hard for you to pull back? Was it hard for you to play things safe? Were you wanting that thrill of being a little bit dangerous with things, a little bit scandalous? This week will write that, and it will be like, okay, what's this sort of addiction to, your own adrenaline, your own cortisol that is keeping you taking on these like dangerous or really invasive types of experiences. So less invasive. Being less invasive with yourself in the second week heals much karma for you. Week number 3, Geminis, the moon reversed, rooted down by 8 of Wands reversed. The first thing that comes to my mind with that mixture is it's like nothing in life is free. So are people being too nice to you? Are people giving you more than seems right? This can happen sometimes without you having to pay it back. It's not that things can't be free in life, but it feels like some things are too good to be true, or people are being too... It's not that they're being too good to you, but it does feel like people are being fake or giving you something that is not true. Not all Geminis. For some of you, it's going to deal more with what you're giving to yourself, and is this real? Is this sustainable? But definitely just think about that in the entirety of your experience right now. What are you receiving? 8 of Wands reversed is about windfall, and when it reverses, it can sometimes be like sort of an unpredicted windfall, or something that is unnatural, like getting paid something that's unreasonable for an amount of work. And then with the moon, it's just sort of adding a whole another layer of fogginess on it. But I'm happy actually that the moon is reversed for you, because it says that it's seeable, it's visible, and you can see through that. So whatever has, smelled a bit off in your life, Gemini, or whatever you've sort of had that sense, it's like, that's not quite right. Follow that, and you're going to see a whole nother level of what it gives to you. And through that, you will be able to react to it in like a non-Nine of Swords way. Week number 4, Geminis, you have Judgment rooted down by Strength reversed. This is probably the most activated week of June for you. You have those 2 major arcana cards. So you are refinding your strength. Your strength is being reborn here. So the first 3 weeks leading up probably mostly deal with spending a lot of energy and fixing a lot of problems. And through those problems being fixed, you reabsorb the energy that you spent within the 4th week. Definitely look around in the 4th week and what makes you feel weak, what makes you feel puny. It's important to see these things, and it's important to delegate them, I feel, because Nine of Swords sometimes represents like lack of delegation of problem areas, and they just like all boil over and it becomes like really difficult to handle. So think about in the future like how you're going to redelegate these situations and how you're going to continue this cycle of like energy out, energy in, and making this more of an enjoyable thing for you. Because I just feel like Gemini's a little bit like strained and a little bit like overwhelmed with, wow, I spent all that energy and then I got all of that. And it just doesn't make sense why it's there. I also think that you are having like a reactivation. So something that you used to want to do or a path that you used to want to go down can come back up during the 4th week, or can come into more possibility. Maybe somebody that works in this type of field becomes connected to you somehow and has opportunities for you. It does feel very opportunistic, and I think that it's worth pursuing for a little while at least, and making sure that it's like not just because it's old, like, or because it's of the past that you want to do it, but because you actually still want it. Reassess your desires in the 4th week, reassess why you're at where you're at, and it should help you to really find the strength to keep on that path, as long as you know where it takes you next. What is the bridge for Gemini? The Emperor reversed is your central theme this month. So control dynamics that have gone out of control are completely encapsulating the energy this month. So what do you have control of in your life? What parts of your life have you given control of to other people? It can be reformatted this month, and I feel like that's the key to really getting your energy back, is what control you have, and at least identifying it. It's not even necessarily that changes need to be made, but you need to know where things are going, why they're there, and how you can control, at least your own path. It's not about controlling other people this month. That's, I feel, is a problem area for Gemini. Later, I think it works for you to be more controlling of others, not in like an emotional way. I'm not talking like controlling people's lives, but like having more hierarchy or more status. That works later, but it's really about getting back to the basics, keeping things simple, even a little bit safe still yet, while enjoying and thriving off of the benefits and, I think, birthday presents that you received this month. Anyway, Geminis, it's been such an honor to be here and read for you this month. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, I so appreciate that. You can like and comment on this video, and also you can book a private reading with me in the center of the screen. You can check the description box. I'm on Instagram and Twitter, and also Patreon. We will be talking soon. Much love. Bye.